We're living in a sex-crazed society. You're constantly bombarded by music, magazines, fashion. What is the message? Be sexy, wild, and just do it. Everyone's into it, right? Why wait? And yet our country is facing a devastating HIV epidemic. And sexually transmitted infections are sweeping through our youth like wildfire. Despite all efforts to promote condoms and safer sex, young people still daily face the shattering news that they're HIV positive. Where are we falling short? For answers, we turn to Dr. Albie van Eerden, who's been talking to hundreds of thousands of young people across the country about AIDS and sex since the beginning of the epidemic.
Young people, you are on your own. When I was your age, to a large extent, abortion was against the law. Pornography was illegal. And so these laws protected us. And these laws have been taken away. And if you don't stand on your own feet, and you make up your mind what you want in life and what you don't want in life, what lifestyle you're going to live and what lifestyle you're not going to live, nobody's going to do it for you.
The bottom line is, you will have to make a decision. This will not be a conventional education session. You'll be seeing images that have been limited to doctors and hospitals for a long time. So join me for the next half hour that'll open your eyes. Every day we make contact with many germs, and our body's resistance, our immune system, fights them off. Your immune system is made up of white blood cells that move through the body, finding and destroying germs that can make you sick. There is one virus though that does not attack your body but targets your immune system. HIV, the human immunodeficiency virus. There is no cure for this virus. It kills without exception. And all it takes is one sexual encounter to contract HIV.
The line here shows you what's happening to the immune system of a person after he's infected with HIV. When the line is straight, he is infected, he is a carrier and he spreads the disease, but he's not sick. When the graph makes a dip, it means that the person is experiencing an episode of sickness. So you see, there are large periods when a person who is infected with the AIDS virus is actually healthy. He's not sick. This is the point of infection. It takes a short while before he gets sick for the first time, and that is anything between 8 and 12 weeks. We call it the window period. Then this person has the first episode of sickness. What is the sickness like? Well, it's basically like a major flu. Most people don't even realize it's the beginning of AIDS. After this episode, for a long period, the person can be symptom-free. This time can be anything from 6 months up to 15 years. Now, I'm not going to show you pictures of people at this stage of the disease because you can't see anything. They're healthy, they look like you and me.
During this time, not only does a person pass the virus to people he sleeps with, but it continues to break down the immune system until he's open to any disease he comes into contact with. These are sicknesses anybody gets, but because this person's immune system is down, they happen much more often and are much more severe. This stage is called AIDS, and certain diseases occur so often in AIDS patients that they're called AIDS-defining conditions. An early symptom of HIV is swollen glands. As the virus moves through your bloodstream, the glands in your neck, armpits and groin filter them out. The concentration of viruses in the glands causes them to be inflamed and swollen.
Here you see a girl with swollen glands. You can see 2 swollen glands in the neck. This guy, I think he was about 10 years old. This gland is red. That means it's septic. It's going to burst open and become an open sore. There you can see it. The medicines didn't help. He was simply too weak from the AIDS. This is an innocent child. He did nothing wrong. He's suffering because of the life his mother has lived.
You may recover from an episode of swollen glands, but with a damaged immune system, your body will simply give in to the next infection. Shingles attacks the nerves, always on one half of the body. The infection causes the nerve ends to be inflamed, forming blisters. The blisters break, they become open sores, they form crusts, and then they heal. On the face, it can spread into the ears, mouth, and even the throat.
If people are HIV positive, they don't stop sleeping around. They think they've got nothing to lose. They are already infected, so they might just as well enjoy life. They don't realize that if they get a new infection, then it doubles the speed with which the disease progresses. If you want to catch a certain kind of a fish, you use a certain kind of a bait. If you want to attract a certain kind of a man, you must dress in a certain kind of a way. And you might be looking for a goldfish, and you'll end up catching a barber with his moustache tentacles sticking out of his mouth. And that's the kind of fish you are going to catch, because that's the kind of bait you are putting out. If you want a guy that loves you because of your character and your whole personality, then don't put all the focus on your body, please. And some girls are like that. They are so impressed with this body of theirs, they go around displaying it wherever they go. And in the end, they are attracting boys which are going to bring them death. Can I tell you a secret? If you don't know it, let me tell it to you straight. Listen, there's nobody who can lie like a young man who wants to sleep with you. He'll promise you heaven on earth. He's going to buy you a house and I don't know what all. Meanwhile, he doesn't even have enough money to buy himself a pair of underpants.
For over a century, Kaposi's sarcoma was a rare and strange condition. But with the outbreak of AIDS, it has become a widespread cancer. The first symptom is dark, purplish lesions. These continue to grow and spread, infiltrating the body.
This girl lived for about 3 months after this picture was taken.
The cancer reaches a stage where it begins to grow outwards.
This chap doesn't look so bad. You just see the small sores next to the nose. But if you ask him to open his mouth, this is what you see. This is the right hand and the left hand of the same person. Now, you might ask me, yeah, but can't you just chop the hand off? Yes, you can amputate, but remember, it's in his system. It will just come out somewhere else in his body. In case you think that AIDS is restricted to one race, let me tell you that you're living in a dream. AIDS is affecting all races in South Africa. Forget about this chap's spots. Just look at his face. You see the fear. You see the hopelessness. And he knows there's no doctor standing between him and death. I know what is your biggest fear. Must I tell you? Your biggest fear is the fear of being unpopular and lonely. A teenager is so afraid of being unpopular that you'll become part of a group that you don't really belong to. You'll go with them, you'll drink and you'll smoke pot and you'll go out of your mind and you'll take the risk of sleeping with a girl and getting AIDS and dying, killing yourself, just so that you're popular.
90% of all HIV patients will develop an oral infection.
Thrush is well known amongst newborn babies. If you get a grown-up person or a teenager with thrush, you can virtually be sure he's got AIDS, unless he's had treatment for cancer. You see the white hair growing on the side of the tongue. This is called white hairy leukoplakia.